PV versus everybody. And today, as you see, right, you know what I'm saying, we're coming on live here in the early evening. One day left, man, between now and the Labor Day Classic, and I'm excited. Like I'm excited because we got a chance to shut some haters up, and to let the SWAC know what we really about, right? And so I'm excited about it, man. And so I'm looking to just go through this preview with you guys this evening. If you guys are interested in jumping on, you know what I'm saying, just let me know, man. I can definitely put that invite link into the chat. So that way, if anybody's interested in, you know what I'm saying, getting in on some of the commentary, right? You know what I'm saying, and sharing your thoughts, then you can definitely do that. But I'm so excited about this evening, man. And we got three segments really that we're going to be getting into this evening. So we got a special edition of 20 questions, you know what I mean, coming through PV during the time when I was a sports editor, right? That was one thing that was always hot off the press was the 20 questions, like everybody waiting for it to come out in the school paper every week. And so, you know, hey, listen, Mick Dog, I'm with you. Like, listen, if we can use the tight ends this year, like I'm gonna be real excited about that. What's up, Jared? I appreciate you, man, for checking in as well. But yeah, man. So we got three things we're gonna be looking at. We got 20 questions. We're gonna look at keys to the game. Talk about a little score prediction, right? I'm gonna give my score prediction for this game, and we got a little bit of PV fantasy football, like a little special segment, man, that I think gonna be really interesting and exciting as we go through this year, right? You know, throw a little twist in here, so we'll get to that a little bit later, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but first, let's start off with this. Yo, I love these new helmet decals, right? That we're gonna be having this year. I was wondering because I was seeing some of the pictures on media day, and I saw the helmets was all white, right? I didn't see the stripes down the middle, and I was kind of interested. I'm like, man, I kind of like how that white's hitting against that white. Now, I kind of wish we would have went all white because I love the all white icy look. But man, the helmet decals, man, I'm loving it. I feel like they hit spot on with the rest of the uniform this year over the normal decal that we saw last year, right? But man, I love the new helmet decals, man, the new threads. Like this definitely got me a little bit more excited about the year. I definitely want to see this look in all white though, and I'm still waiting for that Black Panther all black too, right? Like I want to see the all black look come back again. We haven't seen it in many years, but I feel like Adidas can do a really good job with an all black uniform. So I feel like we gotta have, man, at least one game this year. We need to come out with an all black uniform. My hope is not high because I don't think we got that all black in the arsenal. But if they do come out with an all black, I'm gonna be very excited because you know something about that all white and all black. So anyway, man. So yeah, saw the threads come out a little bit early on Instagram. So just wanted to share that with you guys. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We got 20 questions. We got 20 questions, and we gonna go through these really quickly. I don't know what's going on with my mic. Yeah, we're gonna go through these really quickly. So first question. I've been seeing a lot from President LeGrand, right? She's been kind of all over the place. She's been everywhere, and I've been loving the school spirit and the pride she's showing. So, you know, first question I got, man, is she gonna make an appearance on the field? Like, I feel like I'm for sure going to know that she's at the game, but is she only gonna be up in the press box? Is she gonna get on the field and really feel the action? You know what I'm saying, front and center. You know, I think AD Goff is definitely gonna be there. I feel like he's definitely based on the energy he's been showing me. I know he's gonna be field side, but I'm really wondering if President LeGrand is going to be field side as well, right? So that's the first question I got, you know what I'm saying, for PV Nation. The second question is this going to be the game that causes Clarence McKinley to get fired? And where is he going to go after the game's over? Because you can't 5 years in a row, 5 years, five losses in a row. They haven't had a winning season. Last time I checked under Clarence McKinley, he hasn't even had a winning season over at TSU. Is this going to be the one that kind of put the nail in the coffin I think you got to. I think they got to fire him. If y'all really believe in Andrew Body like that, y'all got to fire him, man. All these freshmen that you brought in and now be seniors, somebody has to take that opportunity. Bro, listen, if his seat ain't hot, then ain't nobody on the hot seat. Ain't nobody on the hot seat if his seat ain't hot. That's like the same thing with Willie Simmons over at FAMU. Like, if you lose to Jackson State on Sunday, come on, man. Like, I understand. But if you can't win the big game, it's no point of you being here. Like, what's the point of you being here? So for me, I feel like the seat is hotter than hot. It's hotter than fish grease right now for Clarence McKinley. Like, he has to win this game. If anybody, like, I think Body obviously got to show up and win this game for TSU, but Clarence McKinley got to win this game. And sad to say, he's not going to get it done. So I'm just wondering, like, where he going to go? I mean, where is he going to be assistant? Maybe he can go jump over to UAPB and help them out. I don't know. But, you know what I'm saying? He got to get somewhere. Yeah, fam. Yeah, for sure. I think they're in the same boat this weekend. These are must-win games for both of these institutions, period, point blank. And I think the West is really interesting because looking at the schedules of all the teams, I really think that the team that wins the West can definitely have 2 losses this year. I think that's a possibility, right? So no matter what happens this weekend, I don't think TSU will be out of the running just because of this loss this weekend. I mean, we saw last year with TSU, right, having an opportunity to get into the championship game, right? So I don't think either one of this put them out there, right? You know what I mean? So let's keep going. Number 3, what y'all think, man? Who gonna throw for more yards? Andrew Body or Trayvon Conley? Oh yeah, very warm is not even the question. Warm is not the word for it. Like, bro, it's fish grease. Okay, the seat is hot as fish grease. Who's gonna throw for more yards? Andrew Body or Trayvon Conley? I'm actually leaning to Andrew Body actually throwing for more yards, but my reason is because I think TSU is gonna be playing from behind, especially starting. I think we're gonna get out to a lead by halftime, and I think they're gonna be playing from behind. And so I think he's gonna end up throwing for more yards, not necessarily because he had particularly a better game, but because they're playing from behind. That's my thought process on that, right? But what y'all think, right? Who's gonna throw for more yards this game? Body, Conley, all right? You know what I'm saying? Andrew Body or Trayvon Conley? Who y'all got? Like I say, I got Andrew Body because I think they're actually gonna be playing from behind. All right. Question number 4. It's the real one because I saw this last year. And I feel like we're going to see it again this year. After we win this game, which media outlet is going to act like they didn't vote us 5th? Because that's the reality, right? Everywhere I look, I haven't heard through the grapevine many at all. I mean, 1 or 2 that I can think of, right, that even had us contending. But the majority of media outlets had us below Graham, below Texas Southern, right? Which of these outlets is going to turn back around and be like, listen, I knew there was something about PV. Listen, we don't accept no bandwagoners over here. It's either PV Nation or it's nothing. You feel me? So let me see. Hey, listen, across the board, I think they did an awesome job, right, of bringing in some defensive backs, right, that are a lot larger than we had last year. And I'm really excited to see how this playing time is going to be divvied up, right, across the board when it comes to the DB room, right? So I'm super excited about that and the defensive line because we've got bigger and stouter there too. So I'm super interested to see how the coaches are going to use those 2 units, especially. I think we kind of know what the linebacker unit is, right, and kind of how they use them in that rover dog roll, right, with that 4-2-5. But I'm super interested to see kind of like the D linemen, how they divvy up that playing time across those, 65, 70 plays. Same thing with the DBs too. So I'm super interested in that, right? And man, listen, it's even worse than that, right? You know what I'm saying? I agree. I think the rankings, my opinion is I think the rankings is based on the past. I think the rankings is really based on past history. It has nothing to do with reality right now. Like Graham gets love as if we still living in the time of Eddie Robinson, like every single year. It's crazy to me. Like they get love like like Eddie Robinson is coaching this team. They get love like Doug Williams is the quarterback. Like, bro, this not Grambling of years ago. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we just gotta ignore him, man. So let's keep it going, right? Number 5, which grad transfer do y'all think will have a bigger impact, right? Of course, we got Caleb Johnson that both had come in, and we got Brian Juice Jenkins. Which of these grad transfers do y'all think are going to have a bigger impact on this game? If the game goes how I think is going to go, which I think that TSU can't stop the run. I think they haven't learned how to stop the run. I think they don't have the personnel to stop the run, even if they seek to fill the box, because I think they're going to be disappointed with that as well, because I think we have the weapons this year, right, to make them kind of have to ease off of that game plan. I think Caleb Johnson is going to have the bigger impact, because with him and Double A, with the offensive line that we got, man, this running back room is crazy, right? I think what we did last year is going to be duplicated and strengthened simply because we also now have the passing game to kind of accentuate with it too now, right? So I really think that's going to be strong this year. McDog, we are not going to fade this year the way our S&C coach had our meat eaters, got you, running those hills and lifting this off season. Got you. About to be a whole problem in the trenches. I agree, right? I think we're definitely going to be a problem in the trenches. Listen, we got 8 of the 9 individuals last year who played, right, had heavy playing time, and 5 starters right back on the offensive line. That's why when people talk about like returning starters on teams, again, we're never mentioned. It makes no sense to me, right? I mean, it makes no sense that we're not mentioned. So, it is what it is. I hope Juice, because that means our passing game is up this year. I mean, I think he's such a dynamic playmaker, right? Especially in the slot. And being able to get him the ball in open space, bro, I think it's going to be crazy. And seeing how he's going to be able to turn a flare route into, 7-10 yards, right? You know what I'm saying? Turn a quick slant into 15-20 yards. Having him on the team this year, right, is going to help Conley out tremendously. And I think Mick Dog said it earlier, right? Like, if we throw to the tight ends this year, I feel like that's the element of the game that we haven't used. And I think we have the personnel at tight end to do that, right? Dylan DeMille, bro, like he has the ability to do that, right? And so I think we really got to if we just use what we got, I think we're going to be straight. You know what I'm saying? Question number 6, man. Are any chairs going to be used to promote black-on-black violence? Because last time I checked, right, I thought we were celebrating together. You know what I'm saying? I thought we were celebrating together. You know what I mean? And I thought this was all about us coming together and unifying. What's going on with us picking up chairs to use against one another? That's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So I hope no chairs are going to be used to promote black-on-black violence. But it's okay. Even though we ain't bringing the chairs out, I think they're bringing the belts, right? You know what I'm saying? So we going to be fine as far as that's concerned. Their excuse was because of retention. I don't get it either, because at the end of the day, like I said, right, we have the same personnel back, I mean, that we had last year, right? We lost a few pieces along the defensive line, but I feel like not only did we replenish, like, bro, we stocked up on the defensive line. And I think our D-line is going to surprise and shock a lot of people this year, right? Question number 7, man. Can this game be classified as a home-and-home series if it's played at a city park instead of TSU's campus? That's just a quick question, man. That's not really a home-and-home, right? It's like I come to your home, you come to my home. But if like we go, you know what I'm saying, to your aunt's place or to your uncle's, it's not really home and home. Anyway. All right, number 8. How many yards will the Panthers allow on the ground, man? How many yards will the Panthers allow on the ground? I think you say it's home and home, Jared, but listen, we're not going to their home. We're going to the city of Houston's field, right? You know what I'm saying? We're going to where the Dynamo play. It's not a home and home. We're not going to their campus. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to their campus. It's not really I don't really think this classifies as a home and home. You know what I mean? It's not a home and home. Yeah, listen, it's not a home and home. It can't be a home and home. It can't be a home and home if we're not going to your home. It can't be a home and home if we ain't going to your campus. Listen, like, get your feel together. All right. How many yards are the Panthers going to give up on the ground, man? I think this is really important because I think that's what if TSU can establish the run, I feel like that's going to put Andrew Biden in a way better, way more comfortable position, right? It's going to open up play action, etc. And so if we can come out and stop the run and keep TSU from gouging us right on the ground, I think that's going to bode well for us, right? So I'm looking for us to keep them under. I'm going to say 95 yards total, right? I think they're definitely going to gain some ground on the run, right? But I think we can stay under 100. If we keep them under 100 on the ground, I think that says that we won that game. I mean, we won that game running away. And so I'm looking for us to stay under 100. Number 9, will this Labor Day Classic be a sellout or will we see more seats than fans? Because when I'm going on SeatGeek, it's like everything is still open and available, okay? I know Panther Nation going to be there, even though I heard through the grapevine we're on travel and we got to change that perspective, right? Listen, this year we got to change that perspective. And it's on us to change that perspective. Like, I feel like when I look at the schedule, even though we don't have the main hitters at home, I listen, this is definitely a joke because I know it ain't going to be a sellout, right? I know it ain't. It should be, though, but I know it ain't. But this is the reality, right? Like, we got 4 games at home that's not against the heavy hitters, right? We don't got Southern at home this year, right? You know what I'm saying? So that game's off there, right? You know what I'm saying? They always bring a nice crowd. Of course, we played Graham in Dallas. But listen, we got 2 games in Dallas this year, 2 games in Houston, and 4 games in PV. That's awesome. Like, Houston Christian is in Houston. We should fill their stadium. It's not a home game, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the money's not going in our pockets, but we should be representing at Houston Christian. Like, that should be a de facto home game. It's in Houston. Like, SMU, we should show up. Like, one of our Houston and Dallas are 2 main bases, alumni bases. 8 games this year within reach of these alumni bases. We got to show up, right? And yes, we got to do better. It's on us, right? So even though I don't believe it's going to sell out, like, I need PV Nation to be in the place, though. It needs to be a de facto home game for us because it's in Houston. It's our backyard. Like, it's our backyard, man. So number 10, I just want to check y'all math real quick. This is just to be straight and easy. What's 8 plus 1? What's 8 plus 1? I've been asking people all week because I just want to make sure people understand math, right? So on Sunday, I don't want to hear nothing. All I want to hear is 9 in a row. So this is straightforward, right? What's 8 plus 1, right? Number 11, which SWAC West Division team has the worst overall record over the past 10 seasons? It's TSU if you haven't guessed it, right? And you know what's interesting, right? I went back and I looked at every SWAC team, right? Every SWAC team over the last 12 years. Every SWAC team overall record, every SWAC team's SWAC conference record. You know who has the best? You know who has the best overall record over the last 12 years? It's PV. Now, what I understand though, right? Now, I can understand, like, yeah, pump the brakes, Lionel. That hasn't turned into championships. That's facts. That's what it is, right? Because we haven't got over the hump and turned that into 1, 2, 3 championships. I understand, right? But as far as competitiveness, as far as being likened to, you know, as if like we are TSU, no, bro, that's not what it is. That's not reality, right? We've been the most competitive team in the SWAC. We have the best SWAC conference record overall over the last 12 years and the best overall record over the last 12 years. Better than Grambling, better than Southern, better than every other SWAC team except FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. I didn't include them because obviously they've only been SWAC for the last couple of years. We got the best overall record. Grambling actually is third on the list. All right. Grambling actually is third on the list, right? That I did, right? So, but still, no matter who cares, we have the best overall record over the last 12 years. So this whole narrative, right? Again, right? The narrative around PV is based on history, ancient history, to where I ain't know nothing about football then. You ain't know nothing about football then. That's what it's based on. It's based on ancient history. It's based on a time where we didn't even have scholarships for football or for sports. But the reality is, since the decade has turned, since the new century has turned 2020, the year 2000 on, and especially for the last 12 years, like, bro, we've been the most competitive team and we have won the most, period, point blank, right? Again, now what we have to do is get over the hump and stop killing ourselves at the end of the year. And so we turn this into championships, because that's the way you're going to change the narrative outside. But we got to understand the reality too, though, and understand, like, hold on, this is a winning culture. We're a winning football team. This ain't the football team of old. So we got to understand the truth before we can help other people understand that thing too. So, and yes, TSU about to be 9, Graham about to be 6, ASU. I want to say that's 6 in a row, right? Listen, we're killing. You know what I'm saying? We're killing. We need another trip and another win, and a Celebration Bowl win, period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? So let's change the narrative, right? It starts with us. Number 12, will AD Golf finally get the athletic department to commit to yellow gold or old gold? Because I know I'm not the only one that notices that, like, we got like 3, 4, 5 different goals. Okay, that's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? The Marching Storm got a whole different color. All right, like I noticed that we listen. It's okay. I love it because I love that little real gold look. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? That's my preference. But we are out here with like 3, 4 different goals. All right, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if we can get that together or not, but it's just a question. It's just a question, right? Like Jimmy say, PV has a winning culture. That's the reality, right? People don't want to believe that. They want to hold on to that narrative. But like I say, what we have to do is punch people in the mouth at the end of the season and end in winning the SWAC championship. That's the only thing that's going to change the mind. Because as soon as that happens, right, they're going to look back and say, man, PV been a winning culture for the last 20 years. This ain't new. This ain't actually new. The only thing we haven't done is got over the hump. TSU has the second worst record over the last 20 seasons. The only school that has the worst record than them is Valley. But UAPB is looked at as worse than TSU, which is crazy. And UAPB has 2 championships in that time. So again, the narratives that are out there are just completely crazy and don't make sense. It's literally something from days of old. But we got to change that in the end of the season, right? Throughout the season, at the end of the year, we got to change it by winning the SWAC, period. That's the only thing that's going to do it. McDowell, the offense is built for misdirection, jet sweeps, fake jet sweeps, dive plays, slants, fades, go routes with Spiller on the edge. And listen, Savage is another guy who I'm excited to see, right? That side, and I think across the board, wide receivers, D-line, DBs, bro, we have went and got size. So I'm super excited, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing you said, possession receiver, man, going back and watching some of the old games, I'm praying these receivers can just catch the ball. Because a lot of what I've seen in the past is like, really, we just dropped the ball. And I know y'all remember, because my heart dropped in that Alcorn game. Great play design, drop a touchdown, right? Because realize we win that Alcorn game, win the SWAC championship again. We got to win that one in Valley, right? So, I mean, that drop hurt. Like, I remember it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was yesterday. So, hopefully we got some actual possession receivers who can hold on to the ball, right? We got that. I think we're going to be good. We're going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? Our color scheme definitely be color scheming. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, Southern, listen, that little mustard color they got is crazy. Like, that's the ugliest color. I think I don't like real yellow that much, though. I think that real yellow color, I don't be feeling that. When they go with that all yellow helmet, that mustard look is crazy. I'm just like, please stop wearing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got size at all positions. So, question number 13, let's keep it going, right? Which band gonna win halftime in the 5th quarter? You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing that the Storm is a little lighter this year, right? You know what I'm saying? I hope that means that they just bring in more sound, right? And more musicianship. So we'll get to see that in a second, right? 14, will the Panthers score in the first drive? We've done a great job last year. That first series, it has been great many times last year, right? What Coach Fred has put together. And so I'm interested to see if the Panthers score on their first drive. I'm also interested to see if the kickers that we have now brought in will make us a little more automatic, right? Once we cross the 50, so that, hey, if we cross the 50, like, it's almost like we're guaranteed to put points on the board. Because I think that also would change the dynamic as well. When I think about the Abilene Christian game last year, right, I think that changes Coach Bubba's thought process from going forward on fourth down to go ahead and kick that field goal, and we can go up 16-7, right? But it depends on how automatic we are, you know what I'm saying, from a field goal kicker standpoint. So question 15, if excellence lives at PV, what lives at the school on Scott Street? Just a question. It's just a question, right? It's just a question. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't got to answer. Number 16, can you tailgate for this game if the city of Houston doesn't allow any grills at their parks? Because last time I tried the grill at the park, they told me I can't have a grill there. They said you can't grill at this park, okay? And since we playing at a park, it's not a home and home series. We definitely playing at somebody's park, at the city of Houston park. Like, are we going to be able to tailgate? It's just a question. It's just a question, all right? You know what I'm saying? Number 17, when will this team start getting the respect they deserve? Because I think, listen, this is a championship team. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. McDog say he saw Snapper Ben on film. He seems solid. Definitely a very important position. You know what I'm saying? That's got us a few times in the past. So definitely, I mean, it's important. Listen, if we can't get the snap and the hole right, it's obviously going to put the kickers in a position where they're not going to have a great opportunity of being consistent and knocking those field goals in. And listen, I'm just asking, man. I'm just asking. Because if we're at a city park, like you can't grill at a lot of city parks. You feel me? So I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question. Are we gonna be the grill? You know what I mean? I just want to know when the team gonna start getting their respect, man. You know what I'm saying? So number 18, who will make the play of the game? Who will make the play of the game? I think it's gonna be a Trezon to Juice pass. Is gonna that's gonna be the play of the game. And I when I say play of the game, I think we're gonna win by a pretty good margin, right? I'm gonna give you my prediction in a second, you know what I mean? But I think that's gonna be the play of the game that opens the game up, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's my thought. Yeah, I think so too. I think Juice, man, he just adds a dynamic, just a veteran presence, right? I just think it's another level. You know what I'm saying? Jared said we just got to win the SWAC championship game. That's it. If we win the Celebration Bowl, no one can say nothing to us because there's only been one other school to do so. That's Graham. That's facts, right? Alcorn went there 4 years, didn't get the job done. So that's what I say, man. We just got to win at the end of the year. That's going to change the narrative. As soon as that happens, everything changes, right? Because I remember last year talking about Coach Bubba when he got hired and on another show and telling him listen, the reality is if we win and have another DB, right? Because you don't realize, right? Cheatham, Stubblefield both got grabbed and taken to Kansas State. At some point in time, somebody's going to ask the question and say, were those players just great or did Coach Bubba develop great players? And if we have another DB or safety that gets developed like that and we're winning, watch the narrative change to man, Coach Bubba coaches up DBs. I know it will happen because that's what we do, right? We're late to the party. Then it's going to be, man, look at how Coach Bubba takes a DB and develops them to this. Because it's we don't realize this man played in the league. You know what I'm saying? So I know I know how the media going to change the narrative. Then the narrative is going to completely change to look at what Bubba, they're going to go back all to that old history from the time he's been there at 11 years. And they're going to look at the defensive backs and the units and see kind of what we have put on the field from that perspective and say, man, look at that all SWAC player. Look at that all SWAC player. Look at these players that got picked up and went D1 after 2-3 years. They're gonna say, man, that man knows how to develop talent in the defensive backfield. That's what they're gonna say. You say we got to be consistent in beating teams the media loves. Yeah, it's true. That's true. Southern, Alcorn, Jackson. We don't got Jackson this year. I think next year we'll have them again because I don't see them getting to the SWAC championship again this year. All right. When will we play a Labor Day Classic in a stadium owned by Texas? So, when is that going to happen? It's just a question. It's just a question, man. And last thing, who would catch the first touchdown pass of the season? Who going to catch the first touchdown pass of the season? I think Mr. Jimmy think it's going to be Juice because, I just see him keep leaning into Juice. You feel me? I'm going to go with actually Jaquan Bloomfield. That's my pick, actually, for the first touchdown pass of the season. You know what I'm saying? But I think, man, any of them, Juice, Bloomfield, Spiller, right? I think Bloomfield and Spiller definitely got that connection from the time they've had already before. Like they definitely got a great connection with Conley. So we'll see. I am Mr. Jimmy. Mr. Jimmy's that. Hey, that's his guy. Juice is his guy, right? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I hope it's a tight end, right? You know what I'm saying? Anybody, Whitaker, Domel, anybody, any tight end, period. You know what I'm saying? So Jared says, with our facilities, campus, academics, and great athletic department, there's no way we shouldn't be getting the top recruits in the coming years. Also being the third largest HBCU. I'm with you. Hopefully the combination of this new regime, right, with President LeGrand, AD Goff, with winning, that it does that, right? So anyway, man, hey, that's been 20 questions, sports edition, right? You know what I'm saying? So let's move on quick, right? Keys to the game, man. These are my keys to the game for both the offensive side and the defensive side for Prairie View, right? For the offense, right? Listen, we can't turn the ball over. That's been the Achilles heel, period, right? Like when I look back last year and saw the games that didn't go well for us, we turned the ball over. You can't turn the ball over. When you got the superior team. Listen, let's look at UAPB Tulsa just from the other day, just from yesterday. The first quarter and a half, UAPB is in the game not because they're the better team, not because they have the better athletes. Their line was not better than Tulsa's line. I mean, Tulsa opened up holes for the running backs that they had, right? But they turned the ball over. Like them turning the ball over put UAB and kept UAB in the game. This is the reality with us too. We can't turn the ball over. We can't put the ball on the ground. Can't drop the ball. Please don't drop any passes, please, because that's just been our Achilles heel too. And Conley can't throw the ball to the other team. Period. Right? Thing number 2, right? You got to lean on your offensive line. You got all 5 of your starters coming back. We got new weapons in the receiver room to play with, but we don't need to be seeing 40 passes to 25 runs. No, listen. Don't go the Willie Simmons route. Please don't go that route. Right? Keep your main thing the main thing. And like I said, the same thing for number 3, which is the OC. Don't get big-eyed with the new toys that you got, right? Like make use of them. Make use of the toys you got, right? Show the sparks, but like don't forget to lean on the best room that you got, which is your running back room, right? Mick Dog, I see you. You got minimized penalties, right? That smoke shotgun when he was here. He had great teams, but those penalties lost a lot of games. Definitely got to be low on penalties as well. And hey, listen, I'm with you. Run the ball, right? With the new running clock, right, we're probably going to be around, I think when I looked last year, we averaged around 65 plays a game. So I'm going to say probably average, 60 plays a game this year. You know what I'm saying? So I think you need to be somewhere like 35 run, 25 pass on average, right? Between 20 and 25 passes a game is all you need. As long as Conley's being efficient, I think that's perfect. 35 to 40 rushes a game, that's great, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we should still be averaging over 200 rushing yards a game. If we just increase the completion percentage that Conley has, then we're going to be averaging anywhere from 175 to 220 yards in passing yards a game too as well, right? So, I mean, you're talking about over 400 yards of total offense every game. Like you're going to win a lot of games like that, right? So, and we control the clock when we're running the ball too, right? With the running clock too that we got now, definitely got to run the ball. On defense, number 1, stop the run. Stop the run. If we stop the run, it's not going to give TSU the ability to use a lot of play action, which I think would open up, right, the playbook for TSU. So I think we got to come out with a mindset that first and foremost, we got to stop the run. And then number 2, you got to keep body in the pocket, right? As much as, there's the hype train about Andrew Body out there, right? I'm not one who's on that hype train, right? I'm not a part of that hype train. So I think when I look at him, a lot of his great plays are made outside of the pocket. I think if you can keep him in the pocket, right, then you give your DBs, you give the linebackers a chance, right, to see where he's going with the ball, right, and be able to jump and make plays. You know what I'm saying? And then number 3 is what it is, right? Don't give up big plays, right? Make them drive the length of the field, right? And this connects with the offense not turning the ball over, not giving them short fields, but don't give up big plays, right? If you make them have to drive the length of the field, I still don't think they had the personnel there, right, to be able to consistently go down 80 yards, 75 yards, 70 yards, and score the ball time and time again, right? So just don't give up big plays, right? Please, just don't give up big plays. I think we win a game, right? So before I get into my score prediction, right, for this evening, I actually want to introduce you guys into a cool segment I think would be dope throughout the season. I think it'll be interesting, especially right with amongst PV Nation, right, as we're trying to continue to grow, you know what I'm saying, our love for athletics and the fan base, right? This is gonna give a chance for the fans to kind of really get involved with the players, right? You know what I'm saying, on a little bit more intimate level, right? And pay attention to the game, most importantly. We love the Marching Storm, but it's all about the football game, right? You know what I'm saying? So I want to introduce what I call PV Fantasy Football. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you look in the description, right, on YouTube, you're going to see the link to that form, right, that you can fill out. You know what I'm saying? It's a fantasy football form we're going to be using throughout this year, right? And you're going to be able to pick and choose, right, the players that you think are going to have awesome games, right now. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that form too in the chat too, so that you guys don't see that you guys can go ahead and pick that up. You know what I'm saying? Share it with PV Nation as well, right? Invite them in to get involved with PV Fantasy Football. So, I mean, it's simple. It's fantasy football, right? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna pick one running back, you're gonna pick a wide receiver. You get a flex one running back or wide receiver. You got to take a tight end as well, and then one defensive lineman, linebacker, and 2 defensive backs, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is PV Fantasy Football, right? And this is the scoring model we're going to be using, right? So, well, let me give this example, right? Because some people may have not seen and played fantasy football. I suspect a lot of us have before, but maybe you haven't, right? For example, right? For my running back, I got Ahmad Antoine. I think he's going to have an awesome game. Then I take Jaquan Bloomfield. Like I said, I think he's going to score the first touchdown of the season for the Panthers, right? So I got him on there for sure. Then I got Juice Jenkins because I think he's going to make the play of the game. I got Dylan Domel as well as my tight end. Then for a defensive lineman, I got Miles McHaney, right? You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be step up big this year. I got Warren Schenkel, the linebacker, and I got Ahmad Robinson and Tariq Moore, right? You know what I'm saying? Just that tackling machine in the back end. So those are the 8 players I chose, right? So again, you can choose anyone. Everything is set up right. You can go there, choose your player. We got the jersey numbers there too as well, so you guys can get into it. And we're going to use just a regular format, right? Regular scoring format, right? For a rush touchdown is 6 points. A rush yard is 0.1 points, right? So every 10 yards is 1 point. For a receiving touchdown, 6, of course. Every reception is going to be a half a point, and every receiving yard is going to be 0.1 points, right? So again, every 10 receiving yards, that's 1 point as well, right? So very simple, straightforward offensive scoring system, right? You know what I'm saying? So for the defense, we got every tackle is going to be a half a point. Every tackle for a loss is going to be 1 point. Every sack is 2 points. Interceptions are 2 points. Any fumble recovered or fumble forced is going to also be a point. And any return touchdowns is 6 points. So I hope that makes sense. I hope y'all good. I hope y'all understand what it is and what we're doing. And I hope y'all excited, man, because, you know, I wanted to introduce this segment. I thought, like, man, I think this will be something that will be really dope. You know, hopefully, you know, as AD Golf is starting to try to figure out, like, how we can make that game day experience better and different. Maybe this be something like that athletic department picks up on, right, to get people really involved in the game itself. Because if you know about playing fantasy football, man, it makes you basically watch every NFL game. It's like whoever came up with the concept in general is a mastermind, because literally, like, you be wanting to watch every game, because it's like, listen, I need to have the 4 screens up because I need to see if Austin Eckler about to score, because I got him on my fantasy team. And so hopefully this encourages, right, and does something right. If we can get this out to general PV Nation, that it turns some of our casual, you know, followers and our casual fans into more serious, like, football fans and to more serious people who actually follow the team. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thought process on it, right? So again, you can go to the link. I dropped the link to the forum in the chat. You know what I'm saying? listen. Hey, you do what you do. You do what you do. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how it works out for you. But yeah, hey Jimmy, man, I appreciate you, man. I'm trying to think of some stuff that's outside the box, and like I say, some stuff that actually get us connected more with the actual game on the field and get people like involved and like really want to pay attention and watch the game, right? So so hopefully it's dope, man. Hopefully the alumni pick up on it and love it. Hopefully the students pick up on it and love it. And like I say, hopefully it's something that athletic department can make a part of the game day experience. I think that'll be super dope, right? But for now, it's just on PV versus everybody, right? It's just on PV versus everybody. And we're going to do our thing, right? So with that said, right, you got the scoring system. Let's go into prediction for the day. And by the way, right, make sure, when we talk about, our, what I'm saying, PV fantasy football, make sure you submit the form by the time the game starts, right? Like the time is on there. Like I see it. I see you. Okay. So you can't go back afterwards and look and be submitting the form. Like I'm gonna know what time you submitted the form. So don't play. All right. So, but with that being said, right, you know what I'm saying? Let's get on to our score prediction, right? So I see Jimmy. He got 24-10. He got a 24-10 score. I know that's in favor of PV, right? 2 touchdowns. I also have I have it as 2 touchdowns as well. I think if we score under 30 points, something went bad. I think when we score under 30, like we had a bad game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we put up 40 last year and we got way more pieces this year. So, like, listen, we should average over 30 this year. We averaged 27 points last year throughout the season. We should average over 30 points this year, period, point blank. I just don't see in what world we average less than 30, right? So, but Jimmy got it, 24-10, 2 touchdowns. What else y'all got, man? What else y'all got? I got it as 37-23, right? 37-23. As much as I want to think that it's going to be that TSU is going to score less, I think that there's probably going to be a touchdown, toward the end of the game, right, that makes it closer than really what the game was. I'm being honest. Like, I think some people probably think like really out there. I think really PV got the better team, like for real. And so I think we're going to be up at halftime. I think it's going to make TSU have to throw the ball a lot in the second half, which is why I think Andrew's going to put up probably more yards than Conley, right? But I think we're going to win outright, man. So I think we're going to win by 2 touchdowns. So I see McDowell, you got it, 42-13. I think that would be the perfect score because I think that shows that the defense is on point. And that's really what I want to see. I want to see us not give up more than 20 points. I ain't going to lie. Because if the defense cannot give up more than 20 points, I know the offense is going to score this year. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have any worry about the offense, to be honest, yet. You know what I'm saying? I think the offense is going to put up points. The question is, can the defense gel together? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you think the defense is going to score too? Hey, really when you think about last year, right, the turnovers that we gave the ball away to Texas Southern, like the score could have really been worse than what it was. You know what I mean? So we turned the ball over last year. So we can create some turnovers. That's going to be a big thing. But I got a 37-23, man. Appreciate you guys for joining in and just jumping on with us, talking about this year's 2023 Labor Day Classic preview. Jimmy said they won't score 23 against our defense. Hey, I'm hoping for that too as well, right? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm right about the win, wrong about how much they score, right? But we appreciate you. Yeah, have AD Golf put your form on the football page. Yeah, man, listen, that'll be dope. I think it's something that would create like a connection with the team, you know what I'm saying, and with the players for the university at large, the students, the alum, to learn the players, right, to be involved in the game. And that's what you want. You want the people involved in the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you kind of create that atmosphere that you really want, right? Game in, game out. I mean, that's how you make sure that people like are at the Abilene Christian game. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, hey, listen, I got my fantasy team. I get a chance to go to the game as a student. I want to go to the game, right? We get to do fantasy football. If we're in the stadium on the game day, right? We get to submit a fantasy form, right? Maybe it's an electronic way, right? We implement this form. And if we win, right, maybe we get a certain amount of Panther bucks depending on how many points we get, right? Or maybe we get, access to maybe a free something from, one of the vendors, right, that are in the MSC or whatever it is, right? You can have so many different things you can give, especially to the students, that I think will be valuable. And like, man, they would love to participate in this thing. But guess what? They got to be in the stadium to participate. You can't get it outside the stadium. You got to be in the stadium to do it. So yeah, so hopefully to be something we can grow with, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, we appreciate you guys for coming on. Any last comments before we jump off? Body likes to run outside the tackles. Defensive ends square off and stay home. He will have a hard time running on our defense. Yeah, that's why I said too, right? I think you got to keep him in the pocket. I think he makes a lot of his plays, even downfield, like out of the pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I don't really see him killing you just from being in the pocket, right? And just being a complete pocket passer. He killed you because he gets outside the pocket while plays are breaking down, and that's how he beats you. So if we can keep that from happening, I think we'll be good. Anyway, man, thank you guys for jumping on. Hopefully we can make this a weekly occasion. You know what I'm saying? If not, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna try to make it a weekly occasion. And again, right, make that PB Fantasy a weekly thing though. But make sure y'all submit y'all forms, man. Send it out to other fellow Panthers, right, that want to get involved, that want to be a part of the weekly fantasy, PB Fantasy football, man. So we can continue to grow this fan base, right, to where we know it can be, right? And in the words of my boy, Ahmad Antoine, I always love to end it.
It says a classic. Ain't nothing classy about this. It says a classic. Ain't nothing classy about this.
Ain't nothing classic about this, right? So we'll see y'all later till next time.